Okay, so last week, which was the very first edition of the Love Code with Mayzy live Instagram show. Okay, so we just talked about some fundamental things. We talked about the kind of mindsets that people need to have or understand about family, about marriage, about this whole love and marriage and family thing. And one of the things I tried to establish was that, the Single and Ready Club is particular about helping people, to get the marriages of their dreams. We're not just talking about love, but towards the direction of marriage. Okay, so what we'd like to do is to inspire people to have a blissful marriage. We want to inspire you, we want to educate you, we want to show you how it is done, because the truth is a lot of people want to but don't know how. So there were a few things we said last week. Let me just run through them within the next 2 minutes and we'll get into the subject matter for today. First, I said that the family is the oldest and the most important institution on earth. All right? Everybody that was born into a family. So if we're going to try to change the world, we should try to change the home front. Very key. That is where it all starts. The second point I said was that you did not determine what family you were born into. However, you can determine what family comes out of you. So if you did not experience love and peace and joy growing up, guess what? You have the opportunity to make sure that the people who come out of you experience that. Okay? So don't say because I didn't have it good, I'm just going to punish the whole world, for what I suffered. No. Someone said that the fact that your background does not mean you should keep your back on the ground. Okay? So you got to pick yourself up and be determined to have a great home. All right? And then the other thing we said, the third point was that creating a great family begins with getting it right in your relationship. Okay, it's 5 minutes into the time now, so I'll just run through this. I'm not explaining anymore. The fourth point we said was that a blissful home is possible and achievable. It's possible, just know it, okay? Just know it. In the course of all these conversations, we'll be explaining all these things over and over again. Okay, one thing I know is that we cannot say these things too much. We have to keep saying it and driving in the nail until it goes deep down into your consciousness. Okay, the fifth point we shared was that it takes more than love to make a relationship work. That is very fundamental. Okay, one of these days we'll take time and break into all these points one after the other. Okay, the sixth point was that never give up. There is always hope. Somebody needs to hear this right now. There is always hope for you. Don't give up. Perhaps you've not started speaking to the right people, and that's why you have those of us who are trained and professional therapists in this subject matter. There is hope for you. Please sound it to somebody. There is hope. Don't give up. Okay? And there was a seventh point I was going to share last week, but I'm not sure I mentioned it, which is the fact that your fulfillment in life is not tied to any person. Don't think it is until I marry that man or that woman that I will be fulfilled in this life. No. It all depends on you. And like that popular advert used to say, it's in you. Another one says it begins with you. It all revolves around you. If you are willing and you want to have it, most definitely you can have a great life. So that said, that was for last week. And then jumping straight into the conversations for today, I'm so excited about this topic. I'm just so excited about it because it's so real. Well, we put out a caption out there. We said, what ship are you on? Is it a situation-ship? Is it a complication-ship? Now, those are my coinages. Perhaps they existed, but of course not original English, right? So, situation-ship, complication-ship, or is it a relationship? Or is it a companionship? And then the last option was, I don't know, sir. In other words, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I cannot explain what I'm doing right now. It's also a category people find themselves in relationships. And it is our desire that as we explain some of these things in tonight's session, you will just be able to clearly identify where you are and how to go to the next level, or how to just get things better and right for yourself. Okay, so what ship are you on? If you don't mind, if you care enough, you want to chat, you want to drop in a message, you can say what ship you're on. Maybe the situationship, or a complication-ship, or it's a relationship, or companionship. Alright, or I don't know. Alright, so what ship are you on? Okay, so you can feel free to type it there and I will see your answers. Okay, now why did I bring this topic up? Let me tell you something. Somebody said none of the above. Okay, that's true, sir. Okay, that's the E option. I don't know, sir. Okay, maybe none of the above. No, none of that. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, so I will tell you a story. I attended a birthday party many years ago. We were still on campus then. I attended a birthday party, and this young lady invited, of course, all of us her friends, and we were all there happy to celebrate with her. And you know that thing in birthdays when they start asking questions, and are you in a relationship? And she says yes, and of course, among all her friends there, we were all her friends, so if she said she was in a relationship, it could be any of us or somebody not on campus, right? So it got to a point where they told her, okay, so you want to introduce your boyfriend, you want to say hi to your boyfriend, and she called a particular young man. I hope he's not on this live if he knows this story. Okay, she called a particular young man, and the guy was shocked. The guy was, what's going on? The guy didn't know he was a boyfriend. It was shocking to him. Now, it was very interesting because on the flip side, there was somebody else who was angry because, he'd been fancying up this girl and he thought we were just like cool. And then it wasn't him. No. So one person is disappointed that, damn it, I thought I was her guy. And then she goes, it is this one. And the person she's calling is saying, hey, I'm not aware that I was dating you. Now, I hope you know that happens. There are so many people who are in relationship with people that are not in relationship with them. And I'm sure if you look very closely around you, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. There are people who are dating people that are not dating them. And if you're in that situation, well, I'll bring you help. Don't worry, I got you. Okay? So, and then there's a question I also put up on my story and my status. And it's something that it's called the triangle of love, where people say, how come the person I am in love with is not in love with me, but the people I don't love are the ones that are pursuing me up and down with love advances. Okay, we call it the triangle of love. Person A likes person B does not like A, instead person B likes person C. Again, that happens. Alright? That happens. You guys are just hilarious. I'm just enjoying your comments. Okay, that happens. And then there's this other thing that I'm sure guys are familiar with this line. Okay, it's a question we don't like to hear. And the question goes like this: so what are we? What are we now? So all this between us, and who am I to you? Hey, my boy don't like to hear that to me. What are we? We are human beings. It is like that, it is like that. Okay, and these things happen for one singular reason. It is because relationships were not defined. Alright, somebody say we are brothers and sisters. I'm tired. Has anybody here found themselves in a situationship before? They say I should not shake this table. I'm about to destroy the legs. Somebody say we are soldiers of the Lord. So interesting. Yeah, what are we? Brother, what are we? We are human beings. We are nothing but persons in the hands of the creator. How did they talk about? Have you been in a situationship before? A situationship is very easy. It is basically a relationship that is not defined. Things led to things and you found yourself somewhere. Okay? A situationship can be the category of let's see how it goes. I'm just watching it. I think she really likes me, Sha. I think she really likes me, you know. And she goes, he's so into me, you know. He's so into me. Okay. Or the guy goes, man, the girl, they feel me. She's feeling the boy, you know. Calm down, no. Hey, let it be what it is. If both parties have not yet had a clear conversation about what they are doing, then it's still a situationship, you know, because there are no clear commitments, there are no clear expectations, and guess what? There are no official expectations, or yet deep in your hearts you are having expectations. Okay, let me go into this a little bit more. So, there are many ways people get to bond. They could be members of the same social group, maybe your church group also, you're a church member, you're in the music department, you guys see twice a week for rehearsals, you know, the person is your colleague, you guys see every day, you know. So sometimes people confuse some of these bondings to become a relationship. It's true that somebody say war against situationship. Yes, now, because it's people's hearts we're talking about. It's people's hearts. Before you know, my heart will break. And all these ceramic hearts and glass hearts, we are coming to them. We're going to help them convert it, okay? So that it will not be breaking and cracking anyhow. Alright, so because you find yourself in the same group and you guys are fond of yourselves and everybody just enjoys hanging around each other, you know, yeah, it's a good thing and it actually happens. But my point is, don't take that to mean what it is not. You guys are friends. It is okay to be friends. That we hang out regularly, that we see each other regularly, does not mean it has to become a relationship. You are friends. Leave it like that. Okay? Somebody said we are together because of the situation. And that is very true because, that's another reason people get into situationships. You know, I also discovered that when you go through a significant experience in your life with somebody else, there's a kind of bonding that you guys can just get into. You know, maybe you had a trip together, it was a rough trip, you guys just went through an adventure together, or you went through some pleasure, some fun together, whatever the case. Such emotional experiences shared just make people begin to bond, and you think you have found something. It is nothing. Please, okay, if you don't define it, it is a situationship. Or you meet somebody, you meet yourselves regularly, every week you meet at the gym, and then you stumbled on each other again at the wedding, and then you stumbled on each other again in the church program, and then you stumbled upon each other again in the social event, and you just feel like, oh wow, it seems our destinies are tied together because we have been connecting everywhere we go. It's not like that. Somebody said, don't assume. That is actually a very key point in situationships. Don't assume. Do not assume on anybody's behalf. If they like you, fine, let them tell you they like you. If they don't like you and you like them, keep the liking somewhere in your heart and be a normal human being. Don't start shaking like jellyfish because the person you like is around. No. Okay? Do not assume. That is how people get into situationships. You are dating somebody that is not dating you. Eh? You say it's my boyfriend. If they ask him, he says I'm not in a relationship, you start feeling bad. That's another thing I've seen happen. Both of them were in the same place. They asked the lady, are you in a relationship? She said yes. They asked the guy, are you in a relationship? He said no. Yeah? So sister, I thought it's him you're in a relationship with her, you know. And it goes both ways, so don't think it's only the babes who are in this thing. In fact, I know guys who are kings of assumption. This girl is my girl, man. Oh, she likes me and she's so into cool down. At the end of the day, he asked the girl, do you like this boy? She said, I'm not even seeing him. I can't see him. It's not my specs. Meanwhile, Uncle has been there, having hopes. Somebody say you are dating yourself. It's true. Okay, so these are very real things, but we have to help ourselves. See, the reason I'm doing these things I'm doing, right, is to help people to see things the way it should be, to help some people through their thinking process in this thing called love, okay, and then to help you make the right decisions ultimately. I know that there are many people who make mistakes because they lack guidance, and that is why we're doing this. Meanwhile, there are some other people who make mistakes simply because they refuse guidance. It's not like they lack it. They know what to do, they know what is right, they know what is wrong, but they just choose to stay where they are for reasons best known to them. At the end of the day, when the house of cards comes crashing, you start crying, and you want the whole world to empathize and share in your foolishness. Well, I could be blunt, okay? So not take it personal. It's not you, it's somebody that you know. It's not your talent. Alright, so anyway, do not assume. That is the clear case remedy for situationship. Don't assume. Do not assume, okay? You guys are getting close and you're not comfortable with it. Feel free to slow it down yourself, either the guy or the girl. Feel free to slow it down. Now, one true thing that happens is that with regular communication, bonding can definitely happen. People can fall in love, that expression fall in love, by just talking regularly. Okay? But that is where you need to allow your head make the decisions, not your heart. Allow your head do the thinking in matters of love. Don't allow your emotions do the thinking. When I say heart, I mean emotions. Don't allow your heart do the thinking. Let your head do it. Okay? You guys are talking regularly. You guys are now best of friends. Okay? If it has to become something else, feel free to navigate the ship in that direction. In other words, if you're the guy, feel free to let her know that, hey, I think I'm really attracted to you and I'm enjoying every moment we're spending together, and every time we speak, you know, it just fills me with this joy and I'm so refreshed talking to you. I just enjoy you. Well, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I wish I could step this up to another level. Anyhow you want to say it, they don't cram all these things. I think I'll also do a course on basic toasting methods, because I don't see guys don't know how to check babe. That's why you'll be asking what is the color of your gate, how is your dog, how is your cat, how is your grandmother. You don't know what to say. Don't worry, I'll teach you what to say. It's very easy. You can have sustained conversations with ladies and they will just be feeling your vibes. Okay, and we'll get there. That's in future module. Alright, now if you're the guy, feel free to introduce it to the next level. If she's interested, she says, oh, okay, fine. If she's not, she says, you know what, take it easy or slow it down. That is fine. Okay, that is fine. Another challenge guys have there is a lady tells you she's not interested, you start bombarding her life because you believe that she must be interested. Well, again, you see, there's so many things to talk about here, and that is why I'm doing this every week. As a matter of fact, every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Let's jump in here. We have a lot to say. There's a lot. This book called Love, they're not the finisher. All right, so we just be taking it from page to page. Yeah, somebody's feeling my toasting 101. Yeah, basic toasting methods. It's coming soon. Watch out for that edition. You will love it. Trust me. In fact, I wish I could not have any lady on that session so that we just talk guys things, but I don't know. Anyway, till then. Alright, so the fact that there's regular communication and you guys are feeling each other's vibes should now make you discuss about it. Now, guess what? Sometimes you don't even need to discuss, because you, the guy, you know that you don't intend to get in a relationship with this girl, or you, the girl, you know you do not intend to get in a relationship with this guy. So that is why I said earlier, feel free to slow it down. If you think it's going too fast, slow it down. What is a basic way you can slow it down? Reduce communication, reduce the talk. See, the ladies are ginger, you know, you want to be there. But which toasting have you not heard in your life before that you know what to hear again? Don't worry. Anyway, we will soon have a guys exclusive. Maybe that will be a masterclass. Guys exclusive. We'll never publicize it for the babes. Alright. Anyway, we will come there. Hey, see matter. There are times you know that this thing is not going anywhere, probably because you don't like this person that much, or you would not consider them even if they asked you out. So don't wait for all the feelings to build up, and then the day he comes and says, I'm interested, and I say, no, me, I'm not interested, I don't like you. That won't be fair. Okay, that won't be fair. So once you see that from your regular communications or the way you guys are vibing, you think this thing is about to get to the next level, feel free to slow it down yourself. Feel free to draw back. Feel free to reduce the calls. And like I said in one of the platforms I was sharing some time back, don't be calling somebody late in the night or in the evening, in the cool of the day, when you don't want to have a relationship with them. Don't start giving them strange ideas. You call a lady by 9 p.m. and you talk till 11 and you don't want to get in a relationship with her. What are you doing? You're setting yourselves up. Or you sit down there and write, you put on your status, bored, who is available, who is awake, want to gist. And that's when the funny people will start sneaking into your DM and start asking you funny questions. Before you know it, you say you're in love. You people should be careful with all these things you're calling love. Be careful, though. You see that it's do yourself. It's not, I'm coming there. Alright? So, there is nothing wrong with just being friends. And I need to establish this. There is absolutely nothing wrong. Strings don't have to be attached in the friendship. Strings don't have to be attached. You can be friends without kissing. You can be friends without smooshing. You can be friends without having sex. You can just be friends. You help each other out in other ways. You encourage each other, you inspire each other, you're there for somebody, you're there for urgent 2K. Okay? You can be friends without strings attached. I think that is something that this generation needs to know. I mean, you start talking with somebody day 1, day 2, day 3, and dating. Cool down now. I asked somebody one time, how many people do you really want to date in this life? How many people do you really want to date? You can be friends without all of that. If I keep reading you people's chat, I'm not going to talk until I want to talk. Okay, but just keep it rolling. I mean, the place is vibing and I'm loving it. Alright? Yes, you can be friends without kissing, smooching, and all of that and having sex. You can. Okay? Don't think that the minute you start having feelings towards somebody, it now has to go to the next level. No next level there. Control the feelings. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I told somebody, let me use this illustration for you. Okay? Feelings, those things, those feelings, those emotions. They are not the real thing. Okay? They are flavors. They are like spices, right? But they are not the real thing. So just imagine that you're preparing a delicious meal. Let's say a pot of soup. Okay? Or let's just say jollof rice. The food there is the rice and the protein you are using to eat it. The food is not the salt and curry and maggi and pepper and oil and any other spice or flavor you're putting in that food. Those ingredients are not the food. They only help the food to get better, to taste more delicious. What happens when you guys are following your emotions or your feelings is that you are ignoring the substance, you're leaving the food, the main meal itself, and you are running after the spices. So now let's paint a very real picture, and I'm sure you will get the message now. Think of what will happen if you just get a bowl. You pour vegetable oil, you pour pepper, salt, maggi, crayfish, curry, everything that you put. Turn it very well and eat that as food. What's going to happen to you? I mean, that's just crazy. You can't even taste it. But those are the same things that if you put it in the food, if you put it in the meal, it mixes together and it comes out really good. But if you take it out of the meal and try to consume it, you cannot do that. The taste will be too harsh. It will be so meaningless. You cannot enjoy that kind of thing. Somebody said when the rice is too much in the pepper. When you go to some Yoruba restaurant and they give you stew, you're eating pepper and rice, not rice and stew. Anyway, so my point is, if you take all those spices, however nice they are, when you put them in the meal and try to consume them away from the meal, you will be in trouble. It can slap you, it can give you it can run your stomach, it can just disturb it. That is nothing pleasurable. Someone says it no go sweet. It cannot be sweet, because that mix was not designed to be sweet in that combination. Put that mix in another combination, it will come out perfect. What you do when you are following your feelings every time is that you are ignoring the main subject matter, the main meal, and you are running after the ingredients, and you're going to have problems. Okay, let me use another analogy for you. You bake a big pan of cake and you ice the cake, and then when it's time for people to eat, instead of cutting the cake, you scrape out all the ice and give somebody to eat. It's going to disturb your stomach, man. You're going to have problems. You're going to be very close friends with your toilet that night. Why? Because you're taking something that is sweet in itself, but is destructive when consumed outside the way it's meant to be consumed, in the mix with the cake. Alright, so when you are pursuing feelings, know that what you're doing has the potential to mess you up eventually. That is why I said in matters of love, let your head do the thinking, not your heart. Not those butterflies you feel. People say when you are in love, you lose control. One day I'll talk about love. Don't worry. I will talk about it as a subject, but as love itself. We'll talk about it. No, you don't lose any control. You are very much in control. It's those that lose control that are falling into all these things. So, see, I've never even talked about complication-ship. It's only situationship, and we are saying all these things. Okay, so I need to move. Okay, because I also want to be able to take one or two questions before we close. Okay, so there is nothing wrong with being friends. I think that's just the point I want to explain. When your feelings begin to grow for that friend, tell yourself, I'm a human being and it is natural to have feelings. My feelings don't determine my direction, but I direct my feelings to what they should do. So stop running after your feelings. Call your feelings back and tell it to follow you to where you're going, not you following your feelings. Because that is what causes all this trouble. You meet somebody today, you have feelings for them today, everything goes down. Tomorrow they leave you, you start crying. Why are you crying? Why are you crying? Who sent you? Alright? So much for that. So please, you can be friends without being in a relationship and without getting romantically involved. Let us establish that. Now, before I talk about complication-ship, and this matter of friendship, people have different ideas here. I know a guy, in fact, back then in school, I had this colleague and he told me clearly, he said, Mayzy, if you see any girl stay in my room for more than 15 minutes, let me use it. He said, na straff with a straff. He said, wait till I dey gist with girl for 15 minutes. Now, in such a person's mind, a lady is just an object of sexual gratification. He said it clearly, severally. He said, what am I discussing with a girl for 15 minutes? He said, anybody that stays in my room more than that, any babe, just know say with the knack. And for me, I thought that was a very, for trying not to be judgmental, it's just a wrong mindset. I can't sugarcoat it. It's just wrong. You can't be seeing every lady out there as an object of sex. No. Okay, you can't be doing that. It's not helpful to you. It's not helpful for your relationship with the other genders, or the other gender rather. Okay, so please, if you're a lady and you meet that kind of guy, from day one you already know what this person is after. Don't go and start confusing yourself tomorrow that it is love. It is not love. Anyway, I'll say a little bit more on this as I'm talking about complication-ship. Alright, now, like I said, this is my own construct, so you can give it the meaning you want to give it, but for the purpose of what I'm trying to communicate, you know, I have the meanings I'm giving them. Okay. Now, you know you're in a complication-ship. You ask somebody, how are you doing? How's your relationship? You say it's complicated. Okay, no problem. Now, you know you're in that situation when, again, my construct. Now, you saw all the red flags. You ignored them. You told yourself that you must date this person. You must be in this relationship. So you move on. Even when you're seeing the signals, okay? Now, that is not the problem in itself. The only challenge is that sometimes, while you are with this person, even with all the red flags, you now get so committed or you get so deep in it, even though you know it's not going anywhere, or you're seeing it and it's not going anywhere. Yet you get so deep inside, somewhere along the line, you now see the respect that you like. Now you want to leave this one and go for that one, but you are already too neck deep to leave point A or person A for person B. Then sometimes you start thinking that I can manage it, so you date this one here, you date that one there. Okay, and then it just keeps getting more complicated. This person wants you 100%, that person wants you 100%. How are you going to divide yourself? You start telling lies, you start cooking up stories, you start doing all manner of funny things. That's complication-ship. In fact, when you take it to the next level, maybe you have gotten into some level of commitment. Maybe you've already done introduction with one person. Maybe the lady has already gotten pregnant. You know, the lady is pregnant for you, or you're the guy, the lady is pregnant for you. Now you are seeing somebody else you think you want to marry. You know, it's just complicated. Why? Because the red flags were neglected and you chose to go on. And what makes it really complicated is the fact that you wish to get out of it, but there is no clear exit. So now you feel stuck. So sometimes the what closes the exit sometimes is marriage, sometimes it's some people do blood covenant, sometimes it is that the lady has gotten pregnant, sometimes it is that you have gotten so entangled in so many things. Maybe you're doing business together, you're doing so many things together, you just can't break out now, or you're already a part of the family, you're saying it's going to be so hard. Oh, they have met my father, you have met my mother, you know, you don't know what to do. So it's complicated, or it's complication-ship. When you neglect the signs, you move ahead, you get to a point where you now want to leave, but you are stuck. You can't leave anymore. And it gets really painful when you're now considering somebody else who is like a more preferable spec. But now you cannot get out of where you already are to jump to the new ship. And then you just feel stuck. That's a complication-ship. Because if it were just easy, you could have ended one and moved to the other, you know. But now you can't do that. Now you can't do that because you are stuck. Why does this happen? Because a wrong foundation was set in the relationship. A wrong foundation was set. You were never meant to get into that thing, but you chose to. Now let me say this. I believe, strictly my opinion, that everyone knows when they are doing something they are not supposed to do. My opinion, I believe everyone knows. Especially in matters of relationship. Somehow, something must be telling you that, wait first, don't go. Don't go for this hangout. Don't go to his house. Don't invite her to your house. Don't go and visit her. Somehow you get all those checks, but you choose to ignore. Okay? And that is where the challenge really lies. Because you get the signals, but you ignore them, you get yourself stuck, and then now you can't find the way out. And then there's a problem. You say it's complicated. Now, these things I'm saying are real situations, and I'm sure there are people in these situations, and there is a way out. Okay? So another thing, I was speaking about the wrong foundations, and this is something that is very rampant these days. Of course, sex is commercialized now. All right, so it is very easy to just have sex with any random person. Things just happen, funny things just happen, and You're wondering, where are we going to? You know? Anyway, so this is what happens. Because of the way we are wired as human beings, as guys and as girls. Okay, so just before I say that, someone says, yeah, we have that advantage of signals. Yes, we always get the signals. Yeah, you know, we just ignore them, you know. Yeah, everyone knows exactly. Some people agree with me. Thank you very much for concurring to that point. Okay, so I was saying something about our biologies, something about the way we are built, right? Now, the man is sexually attracted by sight, by what he sees. You can't blame him for that. This is biology. In another session, we'll talk more in detail about why men act the way they do. That's generalizing, and why women act the way they do in general terms. All right. Now, man is sexually aroused by sight, by what he sees. And I said, don't blame him. Oh, it is the way his father God made him. Why am I saying that? The first human being that man saw was a naked woman. And trust me, when he saw her, things happened though. When you see that he started saying nice things. This is now bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman. Hey, for this cause, a man will leave his father and mother. The guy was spitting rhymes. He was saying sweet words. He was prophesying. He was filled with the Spirit at that point and began to prophesy. Why? Because his eyes beheld glory. Don't blame us. Till tomorrow when we see glory, it they do also something for body. Okay, so a man is like that. The first human he saw, the first time he saw anybody that was not himself, it was a naked woman. God had just made Eve and presented to him. Alright? That is, so it's very core to his biology. It's very core to who he is. That is why till tomorrow when he sees a woman, he's moping, he's staring, he's gazing, and sometimes you have to, hey, young man, he saw glory. Okay, why am I saying this? It's just to establish, so that you don't start thinking, oh, men are useless, oh, men are scum. No. There are certain things that are fundamental with our biologies. However, we can control them. Okay? So, on the other hand, the woman, what was the first thing she was introduced to when God made her? She was introduced to a man. She was introduced to family. That was the first thing. This is going to be, you're going to support him. You're going to be his helpmate. That was the first thing she was introduced to. And what were the first words she heard? They were sweet words. They were poetry. Adam was speaking with inspiration at that point. And I can imagine how Eve was just smiling from ear to ear and just blushing and just feeling, oh my God, is he talking about me like this? That is why till today, when guys want to get girls, they say sweet words and the ladies can't help themselves. Don't feel bad. It is something about the way you were made. Words, a woman is more moved by what she hears, while the guy is moved by what he sees. Okay? So, it is the way we were made. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Now, another thing about this, our biology, is that a man can be sexually aroused anytime. He can be in the mood anytime. Let me establish that for the man, sex and love are two different things. Sex does not mean love. Love does not mean sex. In the man's world, sex is an activity. It is a sport. It is a game. It is a meal. You are hungry, you want to eat, you pick food and eat. You feel bored, you just want to have sex, you go and look for sex. You are stressed, you just want to calm down, you want to have sex. That is the man. Now, it is not so for the woman. Because for her, she wants something emotionally connecting, something emotionally binding. For the way the man is made, he's not looking for any emotional binding, nothing. The man was made and he was used to being alone for a long time before he met Eve. Don't think that God made Adam today and tomorrow he made Eve. because one was in chapter 2, the other was in chapter 3, or another verse of chapter 2. Don't think so. Man was already busy. He was already used to keeping the garden, working the garden. Don't forget that even before God gave Adam Eve, God told Adam to name all the animals he created. Trust me, naming those animals, all of them, is not a 1 hour task. It's not 2 hours. It was a long time. My point is, man is used to being alone. He's used to sorting himself out. He's not used to emotional entanglements. Don't start expecting it from him. He is not you. He is man. You are woman. On the other hand, the woman, the first time she was made, she already had somebody to discuss with. Man didn't have anybody to discuss with, so he kept his thoughts to himself. He thinks to himself, he talks to himself, he processes his issues, he solves his problem. But the woman from day one had somebody to talk with. And the first thing she heard were nice words. And before you know it, she started having children. So she's used to raising a family. She's used to having people around her. She's used to nurturing. She's used to taking care of life. Okay? Why am I establishing this? Because this is one major reason people get into situationships or complicationships. Why? Because the young man sees a girl, he likes her, she's beautiful, so he's attracted already. Now, she sees the guy too. Perhaps he's also cool, so she too likes him, it's okay. In the girl's mind, she wants a friend. She wants to be cool with this guy. Let's just be able to talk, hang around, play around. Now, I'm talking about innocent people. Because these days, I don't know whether things to be innocent. But I'm just keeping it natural, keeping it innocent. Okay? She just wants to be friends with the guy. Perhaps there's something about him she really likes, or he inspires her in one way or the other. So she just wants to be close to him. Don't forget, she's wired to need a lot of that emotional connection and affection. She wants to feel love. She wants to share love. Okay? Uncle, on the other hand, if he sees chance, it is hit and run. He does not want emotional anything. Don't stress him with emotions. That is why when you start saying what is happening between us, who are we, the man just switches off and he's tired. He does not want to say anything. Because that what is that? What is who are we? We are nothing but pencil in the hands of the Creator. Alright? So this is what happens. Boy meets girl, likes the girl, is already thinking of sleeping with her. Take it from me. He's already seen her sexually, generally speaking. Girl sees boy, she's thinking, oh, he's a really cool guy, I want to be close friends with him. Now, the man knows that he can't just sleep with the girl, he can't just get sex just like that. He has to appeal to what is important to her. And to her, a relationship, affection, that emotional connection is everything to her. So what happens? Uncle comes and tries to give you emotional connection, affection, says nice things to you, takes care of you, checks on you, does this and that. Why? Because he has an end game. He's going somewhere, but he has to pass through this corridor to get there. Okay? But for the lady, she thinks, oh, this guy is really cool. Oh, see how he cares about me, and she's just in. And guess what? Before you know it, boy makes advances towards sex. Because the lady already thinks, oh, he loves me, he takes care of me, I see how he does all these things. She says, okay. Why? Because for her, she feels a connection to him. She likes him, she really wants him. And then girl is saying to herself that, maybe if he has done all these things for me, and the least I can do is to just give him back what he wants and make him happy. Alright? And the man is trading sex for love. So what's happening? A guy needs sex, but he gives you love. Gets his sex. Lady needs love or affection. She's not getting it, but she thinks if I allow him to sleep with me, perhaps he's really going to fall in love with me. But guess what? The way our biologies are wired, we get two different experiences when we climax. When you hit orgasm, at the end of sex, it's two different things for the man and the woman. And you will relate to what I'm about to say now. Now, for the woman, at that point of orgasm, there is a dopamine secretion. It's that thing that makes you excited. You know, there's that oxytocin that makes you feel the affection, you know, the connection and all of that. There is that secretion when you hit climax. Guess what? that makes you want to hug and cuddle and just stay, just stay in my arms. Oh, I so love you. And it makes you feel like you're in love. For the man, it's different. Oh. At that point of climax for the man, he wants to sleep. That is why most times after sex, auntie is hugging, uncle in 2 seconds is snoring. Are you with me? Because where one part of your body is telling you that, oh, we are so connected, oh, we are so in love. For the man, he has just released life. He has ejaculated. The guy now he wants to sleep. He's tired. What is being secreted in his own hormones is telling him, oh yeah, it's time to rest. So guess what? After sex, the lady feels connected to the guy. The guy is disconnected. And that is why sometimes, you show yourself. That is why sometimes, after sex, a guy who you thought was all over you can tell you to get up and get out. And you're wondering, but I thought you loved me. And he's telling you, what's love got to do with it? So please, my dear young ladies, if you think that it is with sleeping with someone that he will get close to you, you miss the point. Sex is enjoyable for the man. He loves it, but it does not give him any additional connection to you. He just enjoys it. It's sport. It's activity. Let's get down to it. I want to play ball. Hey, let's go and play ball. You finish playing ball, you go and do other things. Hey, I want to have sex. You go and have sex. You do other things. It's not special. Alright, so if you start thinking that he's going to take me seriously if I allow him to start sleeping with me, then you're setting yourself up, because by then there is nothing else he is looking for. He has gotten everything, and before you know it, he's looking out. Why? Because by his nature, and of course when there is no commitment, he just wants something more. He wants more. He wants another experience. Now, this is where I have a challenge with young people. You meet somebody day one. You guys have a nice time, gist, hang out, dance together. The next thing he tells you, why don't come over to my place? You carry your 2 left legs and go over to his place. What exactly are you thinking we are going to do in his place? Play chess? Or play Ludo? Or watch home video? Or start interceding for the nations? What exactly do you think? Or Bible study? What do you think we're going to do? When somebody is telling you, come to my... See, when he's looking for secrecy, that is the first thing that should get your antennas up. Why can't you guys hang out in public? Why can't you guys see in an eatery? Why can't you hang out in the park? Why do you have to go to his house? Or why does he have to come to your house? The moment he starts looking for seclusion, me and you alone, it should give you the signals. But guess what? You will carry your 2 legs and go to the house. Nobody is at home. When he starts touching you, you now say, stop now. Stop what now? But why are you here? I thought we have an understanding even though we did not discuss it. I gave you the signal and you came. Somebody said that to play PS. I believe you. Do you understand? Now, this is where things start getting complicated. Because you indulged. So you saw that red flag, but you went ahead. And at the end of the day, he starts making the advances. You see the advances. You cannot say you don't know when you get the advances. You tolerate it, and before you know it, you guys are romantically involved. And you think that this is now a special moment. The only thing special about that is that, like one of my friends will say, he has gotten you on retainership. He knows that anytime he wants, he get this one now. You don't need to pay money because we are dating. So he has you on retainership. Anytime he feels like that again, how far, where are you? Come now. Come over. Why not come over? And then before you know it, you're coming over for the weekend. Now, I just want to establish how that The fact that these things are so normal among young people does not make them right. These are part of the things that complicate relationships and put people in trouble. It makes you think you are in a relationship when you are not in one. Do you get it? So those are where the problems start. So what should you do? Acknowledge those signals you receive. Take them seriously. And then don't give in to that feeling or to that pressure or to that, sexual urge or desire. Don't do that. Don't give in to it. Now let me ask you something. You meet somebody in the club. You guys go over to his house. You have sex or in a hotel, wherever. And then you start dating. And then you are angry tomorrow that he's pursuing another girl. What exactly is wrong with you? Why are you angry? How did you guys meet? It was so easy. Already from day one, you have established that, both of you have established that you don't have discipline and you don't have boundaries. So, why is it when there's a relationship, you start expecting that person to not sleep with another person? No. I mean, the way he got you randomly is the same way he gets other people randomly. Oh, sorry, let me stop sounding like it's the guys that are getting the girls. Because these days, I think ladies now pride themselves too in sleeping with men. Because I saw somebody on international television saying that, no, it is me that took him to my room. I made sure I was the one, not him. So it's now a thing of pride, perhaps. So if you are like that, if you are the lady that's like that, and you are the one that is running after the men, okay. But my point is, let it be clear to you that what you're having is sex, not relationship. It is not relationship. And if you are hoping that it will now grow to become something, your foundation is already faulty. The chances that it will really grow to become something reasonable and lead to marriage the chances are really low. There's a lot more you have to do for it to get to that level. There's a lot more you have to do. If somebody genuinely likes you, if somebody is genuinely interested in you, and in all his genuine interest, the first thing he wants to do is get down into your pants, that is a red flag. Please delay that as much as you can and see how much interest he really has in you. I know guys who break up with girls after a while simply because they did not allow them pass into them. Basically, how do you identify the right relationship? It starts with identifying where exactly you are right now and what you are doing right now. Call it what it is. Define what is going on for what exactly it is. If you just enjoy sleeping with this guy, or guy, you just enjoy sleeping with this girl, call it what it is. You are sex partners. They call it fuck buddies. Call it what it is. It is not a relationship that is leading to marriage. Call it what it is, so that when it gets bad or out of hand, you have not committed all your heart into it. Call it what it is, knowing that this is what we are enjoying from each other. It can spoil at any time. When it spoils, we will all move on. I tell people that I can't be disappointed in people's responses or behaviors towards me. Why? Because I'm not expecting anything from you. I will only be disappointed if you don't meet my expectation, but I'm not expecting anything, so you cannot disappoint me. I don't place so much trust in people's commitments or promises. Okay, now that's generally speaking. Why? Because I tell myself that if I start getting excited, so for example, somebody tells you I'll give you 2 million tomorrow, I start jumping up and down. I'm happy. Like what you see in some of these things, you're gonna start spending the money you have not received. And then tomorrow the person tells you, I'm sorry, I cannot give it to you, and then your world has fallen apart. No. If you tell me that, I will be excited. I'll tell you, oh, thank you, but I will continue my life as though that never happened. When it enters my account, excellent, I know I have it now, then I can do the things I want to do. So in that case, if you don't give me, I am not disappointed because I was not expecting. If you give me, thank you, God bless you. If you don't, move on with your life. I'm not angry with you. But next time, don't be promising what you cannot do. Why am I saying that? Call it what it is, so that you will not be having expectations that don't match what it is. If it is a sex game you guys are having, have it. Not that this is what we are doing, but don't expect that it will become marriage. When you start having marital expectation for a sex game, then that's when you get disappointed and you start crying. But call it what it is, know exactly what it is. Define what exactly it is you're doing now. Define why you are close to this person, why you are, whatever is going on. Call it what it is. And if the guy or the lady is not willing to make it a relationship that is headed towards marriage, please don't disturb their lives. Give them time to come around. Give them time to like you for who you are. Don't start harassing their life and their emotions up and down. And guys, please, if she's not agreeing, don't think it is because you're not spending enough and then you start buying gifts every now and then. No, she will just enjoy your gifts. It will not change her heart. There are other ways to genuinely win a lady, not to try to prove a point. Okay? So much for that. So first of all, I said, define what exactly you're doing. Call it what it is. Ask yourself, why exactly am I with this person? Is it emotional support I need? Is it because of his or her social clout? Is it because of money? Is it because of sex? Is it because they're helping me through my career? You know, whatever. Call it what it is. Let the role that they are playing in your life be clear. But don't be quick to convert it to a love relationship. Now, the truth is, why I'm saying all of this is because I'm just trying to help somebody protect their heart. Because when things go wrong, it is your heart that is broken, that is affected. And it can affect every other area of your life. People have been proven to start underperforming even at their jobs, even in their schoolwork. Why? Because of heartbreak, because of emotional issues. So it can affect other areas of your life. All I'm trying to do is to help you put that love where it should be so that your heart does not break easily. So call it what it is, and so that when it has to go separate ways, you just part ways, you miss whatever you enjoyed, but you move on, knowing that, hey, this was never meant to last. It was never the real thing. Okay? Then the next question you want to ask yourself is, do I want to get married to him or her? This is a very sincere question. And my own advice, don't forget, everything I'm saying is my candid opinion. If you do not want to get married to them, don't waste your time leading them on into a relationship. If you know in your mind that, man, I just want hit and run, don't go and start telling her, oh, I love you, you're the best thing in my world. Oh, no, don't start doing all of those things. Do you know, I've even met several ladies who want you to call it what it is. Don't beat around the bush. If you say, hey, man, I like you, I want us to get down, they prefer you tell them straight up. Then you start jumping around, flashing love and gifts up and down just because you want to get into their pants. No. Tell them straight up, hey, this is what I want. By the way, girls even like people who are straight to the point and spontaneous and blunt. Man, I just want to kiss you right now. Hey, man, I just want to get. If that's what you want, tell them. And you, the lady that they are telling, if you want and you agree, that's your business, that's fine. But call it what it is. Don't convert it to love. So ask yourself, how quickly do I want to get married to this person? And if so, how soon? So if you're the guy, are you ready to get married to her? If you're not, don't call it a love relationship. Be friends. Because once you start getting into a relationship, you're putting yourself into under automatic pressure to start doing relationship things. And before you know it, shit is asking you how far, where are we taking this to? When are we getting married? Stuff like that. Okay? So ask yourself, do I want to get married to him if you're the lady? And if the answer is no, please don't lead him on to think you are also in a relationship with him. No. Feel free to tone down the affection, tone down the gifts. If you want to be collecting the gifts, still be telling him clearly that this is your gift. It will not change my mind, though. That I like Chinese and you're taking me to Chinese restaurant. I will eat it, but I will not fall in love. Oh. Tell him so that tomorrow he will not say you're wicked. Anyway, but if you have enough discipline in yourself, then better still, don't indulge the gifts. That's the better thing to do, as a matter of fact. Don't indulge the gift. I know somebody who said one time, oh my God, that ring was so beautiful, I couldn't say no to the ring. To the ring, not to the person. So she took the ring and they later broke up because she wanted the ring. Okay? please don't do that. All right. If you know you don't want, don't lead them on unnecessarily. I think I've said so much on that point. If you want to marry them, then the next question is how soon? This is where I'll try and cap it for today so that I can take 1 or 2 questions and then we'll call it today. We've already done 1 hour. Wow. How soon? If he cannot put marriage in the visible and near future for you, please don't commit yourself yet. Okay? If he's telling you, if he's always evasive of the subject matter of marriage, then that should be a concern for you. If he's always avoiding the marriage talk, it should be a concern for you. But if he's serious about it, then he should be able to give you a timeline. Okay, I'm working on something maybe in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever the case. And then it's left for you to ask yourself, am I ready to wait for this period? If not, then you move on. Okay? I've said so much on this and I want to cut it at this point. But please, don't start expecting faithfulness from somebody that the first time you met, you guys already had sex. Because both of you have already set a pattern for yourselves that you are indisciplined, you are not to be trusted with the opposite gender, and the way it happens so easily with this person, it could happen easily with another person. So don't start getting upset that he's answering other people's calls, that he's hanging out late, that he's going out with this girl, or that she's doing the same thing. Don't start getting upset. Don't put your heart in it. Don't put your emotions there. No, that is how to protect yourself from unnecessary emotional hurt. Alright? Do not expect a permanent outcome from a temporal process. I say it again. Do not expect a permanent outcome from a temporal process. If this thing was just meant to be a short-lived thing, then take note that it will end at that time. Don't build your world around it. Don't open up your full jar of love and pour it all on him. I pour my love on you. They will take it and run away. They will take it and sweep ground. They will take it and put it in the dustbin, and then you will start complaining. And this goes for guys and girls alike. Some guys are very quick to love. Before you say Japan, you're falling inside of love. Please, don't be quick to throw all your love on that person. Allow it to grow. Time is a true test for love. Allow it to grow and define it, call it what it is. Okay, and ask yourself, am I ready to get married to this person? If yes, when? If no, kill it and be friends, be normal friends. Okay, don't be selfish, because you're selfish when all you're thinking of is what you can get out of her or what you can get out of him. Okay, with these few points of mine, I would want to close up today's conversation. Thank you so much for your time. I don't want to stretch it more than this. Thank you so much. If there is any question, I'd like to take 1 or 2, and then we just call it a day. Okay, it's exactly 1 hour from when I started. Yeah. So is there any question, any feedback in the comment section? Okay. I will just run through those points again. Define what exactly you're doing, call it what it is. Don't call it what you want it to be. Call it what it is, not what you expect it to be. Call it what it is. Define it. Okay? If it's not aimed at marriage in the near visible future, then don't invest your emotions into it, so that you can reduce the hurt when it crashes or when one party has to move their separate ways. Also, learn to build genuine friendships without any sexual gratification involved. Okay? Learn to see people for the true value that they bring to your life, and not just for what you can exploit out of them. And then be true to yourself. Alright? Stop expecting a permanent outcome from a temporary process. Thank you so much, and that will be all for me today. Thank you so much.